Hello everyone. So my voice might be a little bit low because my microphone is not that good as of now, it seems. Anyhow, so I have in this video I'm going to talk about the campaign case study that we did. So I have opened it, and this is the starting file of it. And you can see that in the first column we have the serial number, then we have channels, the vendors, then we have the campaigns 1, 2 and 3, then the duration of those campaign, then we have category, and the categories are newspaper, online, banners, magazine, etc. And actually these campaigns are copied here and here and here, so these there are only 4 categories. Okay, then we have products. Per campaign we have, in this we have 2 products, in this we have 3 products, in this we have 2 products again. Then we have the spend of the campaign. So what are we first of all, we are going to do the our campaign case study in Excel. I will tell you each and every process throughout the video. Then we will discuss the same thing in the Alteryx, and after that, finally we will discuss it in the Python as well. Okay, so let's get started. So let me show you. So this is the starting file. What I've done, I've copied it, and then I've put it the values, copied the campaign one into the all the 4 vendors that we had. Then similarly I did for the campaign 2, and then similarly I did for the campaign 3, similarly I did for the durations, and also our product, which there was only one column showing for one row showing for all these rows, so that is that we have replaced with all the values here. So this is our first step that we have done this. Okay, so I've told you about our basic what the data we have that we are having. So let me show you to another slide. So the first of all, what we did, we calculated our start date. So we have used our left formula. In this, let me show you. We have taken the duration, and we have taken the values from the left side of it. That means from left we are taking D2 and finding this hyphen. So wherever there is a hyphen, that index will be found, and we have subtracted 1 here because we don't want the index of this hyphen, because the find will give us back the index of that hyphen itself. So that is why we have subtracted it by 1. Okay, similarly, what we have done, we have copied the same thing throughout the column, and these are the values that we have extracted. Then similarly we have extracted the end date. We have used again, in this we have used a mid function, and we have used our find function again. So we have first what we did here, we find this hyphen, we got this index, then we plus it 1, so we got the index of the next index, which is here 2. So after that we have taken the mid. So in the mid we are finding the index, then we are taking the all the values that are after that index. So we have taken an arbitrary number, let's say here for 25. Okay, so we know that our duration, the string in our duration will not be greater than 25, so that is why we have taken an arbitrary value here, 25. We can also take 20 here, but we know that it should be greater than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. And this number should be greater than 8 or more, so that we may extract all the values from the mid. Okay, after that we have calculated the day of our start date, and similarly we will calculate the day of the end date, which I haven't calculated here, but we okay. So we need actually the end date and the start date for further calculations. So that is why I have taken this. Okay, so start date I have told you, mid I have told you, then we have the days. The days we have the days that we are having, we use the text command here. So this is what the text command does, is the get the day of it. So we format it by DDDD, so it will get the day, weekday. Okay, So this is the weekday of the start day. Okay. Then we don't actually require that weekday of the end date. That is why we haven't done. But we require the start date, the Friday start date, and the Friday end date. So we will use some calculations here. Let me show you. Let's expand this a little bit, not too much. Okay, okay. Now it's look good. Okay. So what we have done here, if our Friday date start date, uh, if our Friday start date is equal to 1, so what we will do is we add 5. So okay, so what I was telling was our in our date time, the 1 is our Sunday and 7 is our Saturday. So the days are from 0, sorry, not 0 to 6, it is from 1 to 7. So in Python it is from 0 to 6, in the Excel it is from 1 to 7. So the 7, let me tell you. The 1 is our Sunday, 2 is our Monday, 3 is our Tuesday, Wednesday, you got it. So that is how it works. And so the Friday is 6. So what we have to do here, we have to, if the weekday is, let's suppose 1 or Sunday, then we will add 5 days to get Friday. If it is 2 or Monday, then we will add 4 days to get Friday. If it is 3, then we'll add 3 days, because we know that our Friday is 6. If it is 4, then 2, 5, then 1, 6, then nothing to add. If it is 7, then we will add 6 more to get the next Friday date. So we are calculating the Friday start date basically here. Alright. Now similarly, we will calculate our Friday end date using the end date. Okay. After that, let me control C. Wait. Escape. Yeah. So after that, we have calculated duration. What we have taken as a difference from the end date to start date. Then we have added 1 because we add 1 because the same day is not counted when we subtract the date. So that is why we had added 1. Okay. Similarly, we have done with all the columns till until here. Our data is up until here only. You see up until here. We have copied this, and I will explain in a while. All right. So we have done the duration. Now we will calculate the average day spent. Wait. First, let's don't consider this as of now. First, we will calculate our products. So in this, we have used a substitute function. What it does is actually substitute the length of it, and substitute it takes the length of it, and it substitutes with this value, which is null. So what we have done here, we have taken this string, we have subtracted the hyphen from it. Then after subtracting the hyphen, we have taken the length of it. So whatever the length will be 1 minus of this length. So let's suppose if we have 2 hyphens here. So when we subtract this length from this length, we will get 2. So as of now, we know that our number of products is 1 plus the number of hyphens we have here. Okay, so that is why we have done plus 1 at the end. In the products, that is why we have done plus 1, because we are calculating the number of hyphens here, and then we have added 1. When we add 1, we get the number of products. So that is how we have calculated the number of products. Then we calculate the days spent per product. What we do? We take our spend divided by the duration and the product. So we multiply duration and product and divide the multiple of it by the spend. So that is how we calculate the spend per the product. So we have calculated the spend for product for each of it. Then what we will do, Do not consider this for a second. Then what we will do, we will take everything from here to here basically, and we won't take this one, we don't need this one, and we take the Friday min date, we after using the min formula in this column, and Friday min of start date and the max of end date. So that is how we calculate the duration between these two. Then what we do, we copy this in the some other column, other somewhere externally. Then we add the date plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 until we get this date. So what we did, we have taken this and we have did plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 until we get the Friday max date, final max of Friday end date basically. Friday end date max, okay, and Friday start date min. Okay, so now we have performed this operation. Now what we will do, we take our each of our campaign and multiply all these rows in the duration until we have this duration. So we have 21 values here. I know this because let me show you. You can see also here also the count is 21. So we have 21 values. Alright. So we copy the vendor 1 21 times, then vendor 2 21 times. Similarly we do for all the 12 vendors. Okay. So we have copied it and pasted down here. And such that we get the duration of it. After that what we will do, I have taken it, copied it and pasted here, so that we have the spaces here, we don't have the spaces here. So I did the same thing here. Alright, so I have copied everything. So this is our first vendor, then this second vendor. Yeah, another thing, so what we have to do also, we have two products here. So we have to convert our vendor per this product and this product. So we will get a 21 multiply with 2 here, similarly for this, and in this case we have 3 products, so we have to multiply it by 3. We have to get a column for each of these variables. So let's start from here. So this is our first product, and in the first vendor itself we have the second product, then the second vendor we have the first product, second vendor we have the second product, third vendor we have first product, second product, fourth vendor we have first, second, okay, then fifth we have first product, second product, and we have the third product here because there were 3 products in this one. So, and again 5 6 7 8 until 8 we have 3 products. Okay, after 8 we have again 2 products, so the 9 10 and 11 and 12 will multiply only 2 times. Okay, so this is how we have expanded the entire thing. Okay, so as you can see that our products here are showing 1 because we have applied the operation here. So what we will do, we will go to our first this and we will make a copy of this thing and place it somewhere here so that we have the value of it. Okay, so let's go to the third. So actually I have done it here. Yeah, I have actually done it here, and I have also performed the sorting operation. That is why it is showing this. So these are the values. So we have to manually paste all those values, and such that if we do the operation and we divide it by the products, the value don't get affected. So we have to paste it as values. Okay, then we have to, after pasting it as values, then we have to copy it throughout. Okay, I think you know about the paste as values. So what we will do, if we copy something like this formula and paste it somewhere here, then the formula also get copied. If we don't want to formula to get copied, we right click on it and there is a button paste as values. Okay, so this is paste as values. So we do this. Okay, back to it. Then the third step, what we did, we created a flag. In the flag, let me tell you about the flag. So if our duration, if Q2, yeah, wait a second, we haven't talked about the weekday. Okay, yeah, so weekdays. So weekdays, yeah, we have talked about the weekdays as well. The weekdays are 21, all these 21 weekdays. All right. So what we have done here, we have created a flag. Let me tell you about the flag now. So in this flag, we have taken the if condition. If our weekday is greater than equal to K2, which is this Friday start date, and less than equal to Friday end date, then we will put 1 as a flag, otherwise it will be 0, which means it should be in the duration from the start date to end date. If it isn't in this duration, then we we put it as 0. Okay, so what I have done here is I have done the operation. After that I have performed the sorting. I have gone here and I have only selected, I haven't selected all, I have just selected this one. So it will only show me the values with having 1. Otherwise, if I select all again and apply, you can see that we have all the zeros value that we have sorted out are gone again. So where do we go? Yeah, another thing, control plus shift plus L, then this thing is gone, which helps us from for doing sorting. Control plus shift plus L, then this thing came back. Now we can perform our sorting. We unselected, only select 1. Okay, so only we have the values of this. Now what we will do, we will control A, copy and go here and paste it as values. So the entire thing we have pasted it as values. After pasting it as values, another thing. So in this case we were having 589 or maybe more. Let's do this, go back and unfilter it, select all. Okay, yep, go down. Okay, so we have 589, 588. Basically we have 588 values. Okay, so these are all the values that most of these values we don't want. Okay, and if you multiply 21 into 12 and after that you multiply it by 8 one time, and the other time multiply it by 2 first time and multiply it by 8 the other time, then you will get all the number of rows. Basically I was just trying to tell you what after multiplying this is the value that we will get. Okay, I hope that I am able to explain everything. I'm trying my best. Okay, so now what we have done, we have created a flag, then we have copied it. After copying it and pasting it, we got that we have the 236 values. One is our header, which is getting subtracted. Okay, then what we do, again this, ignore this one and this one. So basically this operation that we did was not up to the mark. That is why I'm telling you to ignore this for the moment. Other than that, everything is same here. Okay, so yeah, so we have performed the flag till here. Just ignore these things. Now, as of now, let's see. So now we have this. So number of days we have to calculate. The first formula that we did was giving us some value errors. That is why we are taking the second formula. So in this formula, this is the only formula which you will take. So this is your first formula itself. So in this formula, what we have done? Uh, yeah. So what we have done, we have subtracted the weekdays by start date, and if it is less than equal to 6, uh, comma, name, sorry, if it is less than equal to 6, then this value is basically q2, which is weekdays, plus minus, which is h2 start date, plus 1. So we are going to add 1 here. Else, if and, this is how we perform the and operation here. If q2 minus l2, where is q2 minus, where is l, okay, yeah, end date. So weekdays minus end date is less than equal to 6 and greater than equal to 0. Okay, so if it is in this range, then what we will do, we will do 7 minus this value, otherwise we will do 7. So basically what we are doing, we are calculating the number of days per week in this column. So with the help of this formula, we are able to calculate the number of days we had the campaign in a week. So let's suppose our campaign was started on Wednesday. So we have only Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 days. So we only have 3 days. So in that week, we only have 3 days. So that is the number of days we are calculating. So here you can see that 2, 3, and if otherwise it is all 7. All right. Okay. Now, after calculating that, what we will do, we multiply the same thing per product. Okay, number of days per product, we will get weekly spend, our weekly spend basically. Alright, so this is our weekly spend, and as you can see in the previous formula and this formula are a little bit different, which is, let me tell you how. So here we are multiplying it by 3 and here we are multiplying it by 4. So here we are getting 168 and here we are getting 126. So we need the 126 one. Okay. So this is the final. After calculating this is done. Basically what I have done again is I have taken this as another variable, this thing as another variable, and this thing as another variable. Let me show you. So I've subtracted this first, weekdays minus start date and weekdays minus end date. Then I performed the operation, the same operation that we have performed earlier, in which we needed the weekdays. All right. Now in which we have to calculate this thing. So this is already weekdays minus end days, so we do not require this one. So we calculate the number of days here, and after that, after performing that, in the end, we multiply the same thing by the per product, and we will get the weekly spend. Okay. So this is how we have calculated all the things in here. Let me see if anything I have left or forgotten to tell. We have sorted it. Yeah. Wait a second. So in this we haven't performed the sorting. In this we have performed the sorting. Here you can see it as newspaper. Here you can see it as banners. So what we have done, we have again control plus A all and control plus shift plus L. So we will get this control A. Then we will click on this. What we will do, we will do the custom sort. So first we sorted by campaigns. Then we will add another level. Then we will sort it by category. Then add another level. Then finally we do it by product. Then we will do the OK. After we do OK, we will be sorting everything, and everything will be sorting ascending wise, and the category will get the first priority. So it is a nested first category, then first campaign, then category, and then finally product. Okay, so that is how we have sorted this, and again control plus shift plus L, and the sorting operation is removed. Now we cannot sort. Another thing, let's see if I have forgotten anything else. Yeah, so our output here, we will have 236 values basically in our output. We will be having 236 values. Okay, and yeah, so now we will start the same thing in Alteryx. I will explain the same thing in Alteryx and compare it with Excel. Okay, so this is our Alteryx workflow. We have inputted our same file, and you can see our file. It is having all the null values. Okay, and what we will do, let's see the output of this one. So we all are having all of these null values. We are having null values, null values, null values, null values, which we will fill. We don't need this column anyhow. So all the null values we will fill. So we for doing that we use the multi-row formula tool. So update existing field. We have taken campaigns. Now if this is empty, then row -1 campaigns, else campaigns. So what we are doing basically, if this is empty, then we will copy the campaign here. If this is empty, we will copy the campaign here. If this is empty, we copy. We will do the same thing here, 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 and here. So first of all, we are doing it in campaigns, so that is why we are. Oh, sorry. Let's see here. So first of all, we are doing it campaigns. So the output of this, these all will be filled. Then we will do it for same thing for the duration. Then output of this, you can see duration. Okay, formula is the same, and again we will do the same thing for the product. See, okay, everything is done. After that, we will use our select tool, and we untick this F8. We don't need this. Okay, so then after that we use the data cleansing tool. In data cleansing tool, what we will take the spend and remove the dollars of it. So leading and trailing white space, all white space, punctuation, which is a dollar which is gone, leading and trailing white space, if it is having spaces right or left, all white spaces. Okay, so basically what we have done is converted it into a string type which is having the numbers. Then we can convert it into calculative type, which is a double or int or float or whatever we want to take, we can take here. Then we can perform. Yeah, after that what we have done, select column to split. Okay, yeah, so I forgot to tell, this is the data cleansing tool and this is the text to column tool. Okay, so what we have done, we are splitting the duration, which is this. If there is a delimiter, which is a hyphen, if there is a hyphen, we will split the column. Number of columns we have 2. Okay, so after running this, we will get the output. So we have split the duration into 2 parts, and first is this and second is this. Okay, after that we do the renaming of it. Start date and end date, we rename this. After renaming this, we have to convert the start date and end date into date time format, which this is basically right now in string type format, which we do not need, as you can see, VW string. Okay, so we will convert it into date time format using the date time tool. The value we are taking is string, the column we are taking start date, and we are taking DDMMYY format. So this will give us output. So year, then month, then days. So this will give us output in this format. All right. After that, we have done the same thing for the end date. So we have taken this date and we have converted it into datetime format. So that we can perform further numerical calculations in here. So up until now we have here we have the start date and end date, and yeah, everything is fine. Okay, let's move on. Now we are going to the formula tool. So In this we have calculated 1 2 3 4 5 6. Basically we have calculated 6 formulas in one formula tool. So what we have taken start day of the week. So what we will do, what this will give us the day. So this will give us the day of the start date of the week. We have taken the NR1 because we can't perform the same thing in the start date, this which is a string. Okay, then and the output we will give is VW string. Okay, same thing we will do for the end date, and the output will be VW string because it is Sunday and this is Wednesday, or yeah, this the days of the week is a string type. Okay, then we will calculate the start days to add for the start date. Okay, now we will calculate from days to add for the start date, number of days that we will add to get the Friday start date. Okay, so for Monday we have to add 4, for Tuesday we have to add 3, Wednesday 2, uh, Friday, where is the Friday? 0. Here is the Friday 0, and then we Saturday 6, Sunday 5, L0 and F. Okay, so basically day to add, days to add, where is days to add? Here this days to add. Okay, so we calculate the number of days we have to add to get the Friday start date. Then we will get the Friday start date after using the datetime add, which will add basically in this we are using datetime format, which will format it, and it will format it in weekdays format. Yeah, so I was telling that datetime format we are using here. So this will format it to weekdays, and we are using datetime add here. This will add days. So start date we are adding the number of days to add to get the Friday start date, and in this one the Friday ended we are taken the same formula and we have date. Then after instead of using this column, extra column, we are simply adding it here itself. Okay, so this is doing the datetime add here itself, here itself, here itself. So that is how it is doing the datetime add format. So now we have the Friday start date and end date. Then we calculated datetime difference. So this is datetime add, this is datetime difference. So end date minus start date plus 1, which I have told you in the Excel. It's also we add plus 1 so that we get the day itself which is getting subtracted. Basically the duration plus the same day. Okay. Now we have done all these things. Then we will go to the summarize tool. We perform minimum, maximum. We calculate the Friday start date minimum and Friday end date maximum. So we select from here, and then we add and give the value group by count, min max, all these things are here. Okay, so in this case we go to the this one, NR1. Remember this one is NR. No, basically this Friday we don't add from there. Okay, Friday start date we are adding. We are taking the minimum and maximum. Yeah, so this we have taken the minimum and the maximum. We are basically performing the same operation which we did here. Let me show you. Going back. Yeah, I told you this that we will get the duration of it, and after that we will multiply it, add 7 until we get all, until our start date is equal to end date. Okay, moving back to Alteryx. So we have done this. Now we can what we are doing here. Okay, so number of max weeks to generate. So in this we are calculating the number of weeks which we are having from min to start. Okay, so we have 140 weeks. Then we are using the generate rows tool. This is the formula tool. This is the generate rows tool. In generate rows we are generating the number of rows from min to max. So we have 21 values, which also we had in Excel. Okay, I'm not going to show you again. So we take a days counter variable, and if until and unless it is equal to the max value or this final value, we will add plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. Yeah, so the same thing. Now we will use the datetime add. What we are doing here is calculating the Friday weekday. So Friday weekday is So minimum and the base counter we have taken, base counter we have added, and let's see. This we have added to minimum of first Friday start date. Basically this. So when we do that, we already had the minimum Friday start date, and we have, oh sorry, here is our days counter. So yeah, these all values are same and these all values are the same. So we have to take a counter and we have to add the days counter to this Friday weekday. Okay, so that is how it is happening. It is adding one by one. It is not like that we are taken the duration itself from here itself. We have to create it. It is a long procedure here. Okay. Anyhow, so this is how we have done it. Okay. Then we only need the Friday weekday. Rest all is extra unnecessary things that we have taken to do calculations. Then we appended this append tool, append the fields. Then we append all that. So what we have done here, we have performed basically the cross join. So you can see the values are 252 here, and here we have only 17 fields. So what it had, what the append field has done, he has taken every value from this one and multiply it with every values with the every weekdays. So one row is, it's 21 rows, so 17. So basically we have done for every row, so we got the 256 records. Okay, now we have this everything is working fine. Number of days, yeah, so number of days 40. When did we calculate the number of days? 40 here, number of days, yeah. So we have calculated the number of days like this. Okay, that is the number of days. Okay, now after that we got this value. Then we will use the formula tool and we will create a flag, key flag we will name it. So like the same thing that we did in the campaign itself. Here, if our flag is in the duration of the Friday start date and end date, then we will keep it 1. Otherwise, if it isn't, if it is not in the duration, then we will give it as 0. Okay. So that is how we have to create. And in this case, we have if 1 we have taken the keep and the 2 is we have taken the remove. So these are the values that we have to keep and these are the values that we have to remove. After sorting it, we will use the filter tool here. Did we use filter tool before? No, we didn't. So we will use the filter tool here and we will keep flag, take the value equals keep. If flag is equal keep, then we will keep it, otherwise we don't keep it. Okay, this is false, so all the false will have remove and all the trues will have the keep. Okay, so we have to work with the trues. So we are the values that we are keeping are 104 records. Okay, after that we use the formula tool again, and in this way we calculate the number of days per week in campaign. Yeah, so per week we calculate the number of days, which we have done the same thing here itself in the final, not in the final, in extra we have gone here, done this before. We calculate this, the number of days, which is the same as basically this, and we ignored this until here, we ignored. Okay, and so we use the same formula which we have done here. Here it's here also, and the same Friday weekday minus start date, and then if it is less than 6, then Friday weekday minus plus 1, else if Friday weekday minus end date is greater than 6 and Friday weekday's end date is greater than equal to 0, then we 7 minus do this, else if here, end, okay, end if, okay. So the same formula which we have done there is we have done here, okay. Now we forgot to split our product, that is why we have used column to split. So what it does, text to columns, column to split is here, the name is the text to columns. So what it does, it take the product and wherever there is a delimiter hyphen, it create another column and give output the column. So you can see that we have 3 products or 2 products here and the 3 products here, so here it has given the third product as well, and the in that it has kept all the null values. Alright, yeah, so this is done. Now what we will do, we will choose all the necessary items that we need, started, ended, and this need, we don't need this as of now. Whatever we don't need, we don't take, okay. After that, what we have taken, we have choose the transpose tool. What it will do, it will take the it will take this product 1 2 3, so it will take the product 1 2 3 and it will transpose it, which means it will convert the rows to columns or rows to columns basically. So every product is multiplied by 3, so here we have what, 312 values, and here we will have 104 values, 104. So basically every row multiplied by 3, because these 3 things are converted into columns, okay. So we will have the output of, another thing I want to show, here we have chosen everything except the products. Here we have chosen everything, we haven't chosen everything, and we have only chosen the products, and missing column 1, okay. Now we got all these values. Now we don't need the null values, so what we will do, we will use the formula tool again, filter tool, sorry, not the formula tool. This is the formula tool and this is the filter tool. So we will if the product is not null, then we will keep it, otherwise we won't keep it. So all the null values are removed here, where we are, product, where is the product, wait a second, we have product here, product 1 2 3, value, where we have value, we haven't taken the value, we have taken the value. So this output, where is the value, oh, here is the value. So these are all the products, and we won't be able to see any null values here, so no null values here, and we will be able to see null values here, so product null values. So basically we have, when we choose the filter tool, we have taken this and moved it up down, that is how it shifted back to here, okay. Yeah, so these are all the values that are not null, so we end up with 236 values which we needed, okay. And finally we perform all the sorting that we have done with Control Shift and L here. The same we do the sorting here, but with the sort tool. You choose the sort tool, we insert the values of campaign, then category, then product. So what it will do, the first priority is campaign, the second is category, the third is product. So it is all the nested. So campaign, then category, then product. So it will sort it all like that only. Yeah, another thing, spend per product per week. Did I told you this? Number of products which I have told you. So uh, regex count matches if the product has contains hyphen, then vv plus one. So the same logic we use there. If our product, where is our product? Product. Yeah, here is our product. If our product contains hyphen, the number of products we have is this plus one, so we have two here. If the number of hyphen is two, then we have three products, so plus one, three products. Okay, then we have calculated the number of days per week campaign, the spend per product per week. Okay, the same thing that we did here, we multiply the per product multiply by number of days. Similarly, we will do the same thing here, per product multiply by number of days, spend per product per week. Yeah, it is the same thing, I guess. Let's see. Final product, the value is 356.5, and here is also the 356.5 to 25. So I have actually cross checked it, all these values are coming the same, so the formula is correct. Okay, then finally we have the output tool. In this output tool we can export it in any file format, made with CSV, Excel, YX, GB, anything. All these formats are available here, so that is what we have done here. And so that's all for the Alteryx, and now we will start the Python. The same thing, we will do all the things in Python. One thing is that we have to notice is that we have 236 rows here in our final output, and all these values should be matching. Okay, so these are all the values that we are getting, and in the campaign case studies also we have last is 237, so basically 236 values. So these two have cross matched, so it is these two are matching. Now what we will do, we will start our Python, and we will do the same thing that we have done here, and try to perform all these operations. Okay, and we will all do all the same thing in the Python also. So let's move to Python case study. So first of all, we import our module, pandas as pd and numpy as np. Then we read our Excel file, which we are having this one, the nan values, all the nan means not a null value, not a number, sorry, not a number. So these are also the null values, and also called the not a number. And so we have the indexes here 0 to 11, which is we are having the 12 values. So the pandas or the Python already by default provide the index, or else we can provide the index by specifying here itself, which we haven't, that is why it is all taken by default. Then we have all the column names and all everything. Okay, so what we have done, we have used the fill any value method fill. So wherever there is any values, what it will do, it will fill it automatically with the above value. So this is the f fill, so it is above fill basically that is doing. Then we don't need this unnamed 7, we dropped it. In place is equal to 2, axis is equal to 1. So axis 1 is basically our columns, and axis 0 is our rows. So rows comma columns 0 comma 1. Okay, and df is our data frame, pd.read excel, I have told you. So this is our Excel file that we have read, and we use a dot function to get something out of something. So df, we are doing the filling it, so we are performing the operations. So whenever we perform the operation, we use this dot. Okay, so we have performed the drop here, so dot drop, and so it dropped the unnamed column which we had, which we didn't need. Okay, then what we will do, we will split the start date and end date from the duration. So df, we take a list of start date comma end date, insert it into the and that will be, wait a second, wait. So we have taken the start date and end date, provided it in a list. In the list we have passed the df, which is our data frame. And so what it will does, so if we pass something, for example, let's suppose if we pass df square brackets and pass a column name, so it will give the output of that column itself. Okay, so in this way what I'm doing is initiating two columns, start date and end date. So what we will do, it will create the new columns after it, start date and end date, and it will take the value from the duration, and from the duration, and what we will do, it will take the string and split it where there is this hyphen which I have provided in the single quotes. Wherever there is a hyphen, it will split there, and expand is equal to true. So what it will do, it will create the same, it will do the same thing. It will just split the text to columns. So start date and end days are separated by this hyphen which we are having here. Okay, so this is the way in which we have done this. After that, we take the spend and remove all the dollars from here. So we do it by the df taken the spend column, then df dot spend, we have overridden it with a string, that we replace this dollar sign with nothing ever. Okay, then regex is equal to true. So what this regex does is basically it remove all the errors that we are having in that. So then we perform the same thing again with the comma. So in that one I forgot to remove the comma, so in this one I have removed the comma also. So okay, now if I check the data type of it, it is O type, or if I take the data type of it and the starting index which is of 0, so its data type is string, so it is of string format. Okay, so now our spend is of string format. Now what we will do, we will typecast it into the integer 64 format. So we have taken the spend, df dot spend is equal to as type integer 64. So what we have done is taken the spend column, and it was string before, now we have converted it into the integer, so that we can perform the calculation here, otherwise we can't perform the calculations. So now the start date of that is the string format, this we have done, and let's say let me show you, I haven't shown here. So I will type a or above. So let's check the data type of the spend now. So what do we do, df spend as capital, we have to check our index, it is case sensitive, so it will only take the capital S with the spend. Okay, so it's index 0 which is 1000, index 0 is 1000 of spend. Now what we will do is check the type of it after converting it into as type. Is let's move this down below. Okay, now if we run all, yeah, so everything is done. We'll go back up. Now we have checked this, so now you can see that is integer 64 type. The spend has converted into integer 64 type after we have converted it. Okay, now we will take the type, we check the type of this is, we want a date time format. So what we do, we take that thing, df start date and period or date time, df start date format, we provide the format. So what it will do is convert the start date to the date time format. So you can see that it was before the string format, and I have passed the format here. So this percentage %d will check the initially it will check the date here, day here, sorry, not day, date, basically which date of the month it is. Then we have specified that there is a hyphen. After hyphen, it will check if there is a month. So percentage m, it will check the month. Then after that, it will check the year. So the small y is basically the 2-digit year, and the capital Y is the 4-digit year. So it will check the 2-digit here. So that is why I have taken the small y. You can check the what do we call it, documentation of it by pressing Shift Tab. Okay, so it came, and if we add, then we have the format. It is not. We go down here, check wherever there is a format. Now you can see the format here. So this we have format we have taken, and or else what you can do, if we, wait a second, yeah, if you can't find something here, then you can just simply check the documentation of date, time, format in Pandas. Pandas datetime format. Go to the Pandas website, and it will you can check all the datetime formulas, that operations that you can perform here itself. Coming back, so we have specified the date, then check the month, then check the year. Okay, so it will convert the start date into the datetime format, and then we have converted the end date also into the datetime format. I've just checked, you can check the month of something like this, dt.month. Okay, now in this I have converted it into end date format. Oh, sorry, end date into the datetime format. Okay, now if we check the df info, we will get that the start date and end date is converted into datetime format 64, which we need. Okay, now after that, what we will do, we will calculate the start day of the week. So basically it will give us the weekday. So this number 2, I told you before, the Monday is 0 and the Sunday is 6. So Monday is 0, so 2 is Wednesday. So 2 is the Wednesday. So it is showing us that it is Wednesday, and we can, if we go back, cross check here, when we calculated day here, it was coming out to be Wednesday. Okay, and we are working on the same data so that we can cross validate it or cross check it. So 0 is Monday and 6 is Sunday. You can calculate everything like that. Okay, so we get the output in number start day of the week. Then we calculate the end day of the week. Similarly, the start date we have, the end date we have. Then we use the long if then else formula. If it is 0, then plus 4, because 0 is Monday, so Monday plus 4 is Friday. So then we will plus 4. If this is 1, plus 3. This similarly we are doing the same thing that we have done there here. So this is how we initiate it. We created a column Friday dates add start, initialize it as 0. So it will firstly initialize it to everything or give all the rows the value to be 0. Then we have taken the date start day of the week, which we already have calculated. Then it index. So basically it will dot index will check every index, this one index, this for I in this, meaning I will be 0 to 11. Okay, so first of all I will be 0, so it will check if this is 0, if this is whatever this value is, if this come out to be 2, if this is equal to 0, no, 1, no, 2, yes, so this will do plus 2. So whatever output we will get after this, so start day of the week, Friday date add start. So we have calculated the date add start. So these many days we have to add. When we are adding on to calculate the Friday start date and end date, these many days we have to add in the Friday start date, and similarly we will do, and we will calculate the similarly the days we have to add in the Friday end date. Okay, so we have used the same formula here also. Friday end date, end date add end, Friday date add start. Now moving on, we have this data. We checked it if it is number. Yeah, it is of numeric type, end 64. Then we create the Friday start date. Now we can calculate the Friday start date by adding the start date, this date, which is in datetime format, plus the Friday date at start. So this date is the date that we have to add to get the Friday start date, and the unit is D, which is the date. So basically I'm telling the 2 time delta pd dot the pandas dot 2 time delta, that add this, the whatever the value is this in this, add it in days. So it will, what it will do, it will take the time of it and add the number of days. So basically 12 plus 2, 12, this was the date here, so 12 plus 2, 14. So similarly it had done the same thing with every single rows. Okay, yeah, so that is done. Similarly we have calculated the Friday date at end, which we already had calculated. Why did we do this? Friday end date, we have calculated the Friday end date. Yeah, so first we calculate the Friday start date and we calculate the Friday end date. After, what we will do, we perform the again the same operation. We take the end date and add the Friday end date days D, and this is the way in which we add time in days basically in the datetime format. Okay, so if you can check, I showed you above also, but let me show it again. When we did the info of it back, so this is the datetime format and this is the datetime format. Moving back down, okay, so I have told you this, we have got the Friday start date and end date. Okay, now moving on to the duration. Now we have checked that the duration we are having is this, and what we will do, duration this is equal to end date minus start date plus, yeah, so we are calculating the duration. So in duration what we are doing, calculating the end date minus start date, so that we get the duration of it in number of days. Okay, so we get the output in number of days duration. So 40 days are here, and 40 here, 40 here, 40 here, and we have added one here. We have added one here because we did the same thing back here in Excel. Let me show you. So this is the same thing that we did, not here, here. This is the same thing we did. We subtracted the ended minus started and added 1, so that we get the same day data as well. Day as well. You got it. Okay. In the Alteryx also we did the same thing. Where are we now? Let's check the output of it. This one. Number of days we haven't selected. Okay. Let's go back here. Number of days we have selected. Yeah. So here also we have selected 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, and when we go down it is 77. Yeah, similarly 40, 40, 77 days. So now this is done. This is converted into daytime. This is basically daytime format. Okay. Okay. So this is number of days showing. This is the daytime format. Just remember, it is not in integer format. It is in daytime format. Now we have taken it and renamed the product to product. There was a trailing space here, which we have removed. Axis is equal to 1 in the y-axis. We have just renamed it, basically. Taken the product, renamed the product, given it the same name without the space, so that we avoid the confusion. Anyhow, now we have taken the for loop. Now we will calculate the number of products. So this is the same thing that we did here in Excel. We calculate the number of products. We use substitute here. In Alteryx what we did? Number of days. Number of days, number of days, number of days. Let's see, number of days. Number of days. That is the number of days at the end, not this days. Yeah, somewhere we did. Okay. I'm not going back and okay, so df number of products is initialized as 0. So if for I in df product index, so we are checking the index, df number of products I is equal to length of product dot split with this. So in this, what we get after doing that, we get the number of products. We use the split command to get the output of it, that we have got the two columns and we taken the length of it. So after taking the length of it, we get that it is the, let's suppose that we have an list. Okay, so after doing the split, it has become into two items. So if it only had one items, and if we count the length of it, it will give us two. So it will basically, this formula what will do, it will give us some value, which value will be the number of products, basically counting the number of products. So 2 here, 3 here, 3 here, 2 here. Okay, just like before. Okay, yeah, so uh, it will check the number of products and the index of it, first index of it, and rewrite check every index product, slice it by index, then split it and check the length of it. So after doing all that, we will get the number of products. So this is the way we calculate the number of products. Now after this is done, uh, we check that the duration is the date time time delta format only, and the duration days, we calculate the number of days that we have in the durations. So we take another column, duration days. Now this we have converted into int format. So duration days, the same duration, we have calculated the number of days, because we have to calculate next the day spent per product. So which will be the spend divided by the number of products multiplied by duration of the days. So the spend divided by the number of products multiplied by number of days, basically the same thing which we have done here. Okay, the spend divided by multiple of this. Okay, moving back. So we have taken the brackets here. It's the same thing that we have done there. Okay, so it will do the calculations and give us the output in float. So that is in float. Now we have calculated the min of the Friday start date and the max of Friday end date. So minimum value of the taken the Friday start date and calculated this minimum with the timestamp, and Friday end date, calculated the maximum. So that we get the duration. Now for getting the duration, we perform this operation, and so that we get the output in a list, we kept it in a list, and 14 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7, basically we have to pd dot time to time delta, we have to do that. So adding all that, putting it into the list. So just check this. Okay, just, so this is how we have done. Let me walk through. Let's see. So this is an array which we have initialized as null. So a is equal to min a, we initialize as min Friday, which is basically this. Okay, then ar dot append a. So min value we will get it here. For I in range 100, some arbitrary number, a is equal to a plus pd, this value. So basically a is equal to a plus 7. Then we append a. So plus 7 append, plus 7 append. If ARR minus 1, basically minus 1 means the last index, that is it has taken. If the last index of the ARR is equal to max Friday date end date, then we break the loop and come out of it, and we have done the I plus 1 for incrementing the index here. Otherwise for I in range we have taken, if we want to increment it, it won't be incremented. Okay, then w.pd.series, yeah, we have converted it into the pd.series, the timestamp format, the timestamp format into the, now this is basically the timestamp format in the series format. Now we can append this, cross multiply it. So we what we can do is do the merge, cross join, and cross multiply it. So what we will do, then it will, these are the 21 values, so 0 to 20, 21 values, and multiply with every single row. So the same row that we have here, we have how many rows here? We have 12 rows here. Yeah, so it will multiply the 12 into 21. So after cross joining it, we are getting 252 into 20 columns. Okay. Yeah, so I have told you before as well. Now also let me just remind you that it will do the cross join, or it will take the first row of every rows in the here, the data frame, and multiply it by copy it multiple times, and give the variable weekdays. I have performed the error name, given the name also as well, so that I can, when I perform the join, it joins and don't give me the error, because this is the weekdays. After that, I've taken the info of it. So basically weekdays is datetime format itself. This is float. I've told you that that came out to be float. So these are all the values they spent per product are float. Then finally we have taken the flag. So the same logic that we did there, for I in df new flag dot index. So basically I initialize it at the null string for I in df new flag dot index. For every index in the flag, if weekdays of that index is greater than equal to the Friday start date of index, and the new index weekdays is less than equal to the Friday end date. So basically the flag logic, the same flag logic that we did here, I suppose here. Yeah, so this same logic. Q3, if this weekday is greater than equal to the start date or less than equal to the end date, basically in the range, within the range. If that is within the range, then 1. Otherwise, if it is not in the range, then we don't have to take it, then 0. So same logic here. Now if it is true, then we keep it, initialize the, then keep. Otherwise we initialize it as remove. Okay, after that we get this keep, remove, remove was also there. It is just showing the head and tail, that is why. Now let's see if the head. So if I specify the head to be 20, so it will give me the top 20 values. So in the 20 values we can see that there is a keep and also there is a remove. So to check that there is remove. Okay, now I hope that you are still following along. Anyhow, if now we have done the sorting here, if df new flag is equal to keep, then show me the head. So basically it is showing me the head. If it is keep, it is doing fine. Then if df for new index, then I've checked the index of it. Okay, now we have to specify to drop. So wherever there is drop, wherever there is flag is remove. So wherever there is a remove, we drop it, and we check it. After we check it, we see that everything that we have is keep, so we have removed all that. And we check the rows and columns, 104 rows and 21 columns. Before what we had 20 row, oh sorry, again head. Okay, 250 rows and 21 columns we had. Okay, so where are we? Here we are. We have removed the unnecessary that we don't want. So we are left with 104 rows. Let's go back to Alteryx. After removing the flag, where we did remove the flag? Here. We are left with 104 rows. So we are also cross checking it. After that we check the info of it. Now when we perform the info of it, we get the information of all of it. So float datetime object, yeah, flag is an object, so it is a string, basically it's an object. Okay, now what we did, we df new weekday minus start date, weekdays minus start date. weekdays minus end date, weekdays minus end date. Then weekday start date is equal to that minus which we have done per days. So basically we get this weekdays minus start date, weekdays minus end date, which is the same thing that we did here in the extra. Going back, weekdays minus start date, this minus that, and weekdays minus end date, this minus end date, and we get it as minus 2, minus 37, 9, 30 and all that. And if we go back, 2 minus 7, 9, 30, so it is the same. We are all constantly cross checking it as well. Then we have this big formula which we have commented out because we don't need this one as of now, thank god. Anyhow, we check the info of it. Okay, so we have this integer format here, we have integer format, it looks good. Now we can perform the operation to calculate the number of days. Initializing it as 0. The number of days is the same logic that we did here, this number of days. So basically let me show you the logic as well. Yeah, so this here, this 7 minus this, all that formula, same formula we repeated here as well. Number of days is equal to this LF if LF. Yeah, basically it took me some time and I just implemented it, and after implementing it, and I hadn't called it the df new, I've called it here. So after implementing it, so it is giving me the number of days the same way. Okay, so it is giving me fine. I just wanted that. Now I want to split my product. So pt.dataframe, I've given it a new CR. I'm taking the product PR1, 2, 3 and giving it as product. Before what we had is products, S with the S. No, we had only product, sorry. So we are taking the product, we are splitting it. Basically we are taking this, split this expand true. So basically what it has done, it has taken all this and put it into another data frame into columns, and we have 104 into 3 values. So with the same values that we are having here, instead of implementing it in front of after this, we have taken it as another, because we don't want to join this like this, we want to cross join it, which we have done this before. Okay, then what happened, I tried to transpose it and check it, like this is how it is looking after the transpose. T is doing the transpose. Then what we have done is convert the same thing into the numpy array. So what the numpy array will do, it will convert this into numpy array. Now you can see that the starting int was none, and in this it is like that, this, okay, it is like this. So now I can reshape it and I can convert all this data into a single series data frame. Reshaped it and converted it into series. Now it is in series, which is what I wanted. Then I have pt.series into products. Given that name, I have provided it as products. It was product before, now I have added s, and I have given the same thing as the products. Okay, then I have got all the values to 312 values. Length is 312. Object is object. Then I have concatenated it. No. This is not concatenate. This is concatenation. Basically, I am not using this as of now. I have taken the previous data frame, which is the df new, which was going back this 104 into 24. Okay. Yeah, so what I have done is multiplied it by 3. So it will take this pd new and multiply it by 3. So it appended by it will take all this data and put this data before under this data and again under this data, so 3 times. So this data will multiply 3 times. So 104 into 3, 312. So we will get out, going back, 312 rows. Okay, these are the rows that we got, and let me show you the formula. So ignore index is equal to true, so we are not taking the index into the consideration. Multiply this all the thing into 3 and put it into a new data frame named df. So we have this data frame which is having 312 into 24 columns, and it does not, it is just multiplied by 3. Okay, now what we have to do, products. Now we have taken the products and inputted it into another data frame. So after checking the data frame, products is equal to df underscore. So df underscore is basically this. So the df underscore that we have created is that of products, which is basically this whole data in a single line, and we have basically added the name of it and added it at the end. So yeah, it has added all the products with some none values, but it is only a single line, so it has added all the products. Now what we will do, we perform the sorting by sorting values by campaigns, then category, then products, the same way we did in here as well, with campaign, category, products, campaign, category, products. Control Shift L, you remember that. Okay, so now it is sorted. Now we have some none values which we don't want, so we have to df new is equal to df products not null. So whenever the product is not null, it will give me that value. So now we are getting 236 rows. So the 236 is the same number that we are getting after this 236, and also the same number that we are getting after doing all the calculations. Finally 236. Okay, moving back. So after removing the none, we get the same number of rows that we needed, and all the products are there. There is no product where there is none. Okay, so all the none products are removed here. Now we reset this index because we see that it is 285 and it is missing some values. That is why we reset the index, and the index is 0 to 235. So index is resetted. Then what we do finally is calculate the spend per product per week, which is basically calculating escape this. Wait, this. Okay, so per product multiply by number of days. Moving back, number of days per product, days spent per product. So after multiplying it, we named it as spend per product per week. Then we check it, spend per product per week is giving us all these values, and finally we check the info of it. This is our all these info of our data. So we have completed our case study, and 236 rows and 26 columns we have outputted, received, and extracted. So here as well the 236, and there as well 236. We have cross checked it. Let's save this, and wait. And another thing that I wanted to show you is that I have written everything that we have done in this case study in Excel and in Alteryx. I wanted to explain you this, so that is why I'm showing you this. So we got a 21 weeks intervals that we got. Let me show you again. In the first one, when we got this, the difference between the min and the max, we got this 21 weeks interval. You can see it is count is 21, and after that we multiplied it by 12 vendors that we had. You know that there were 12 vendors. So, and 8 product of those had 2 product. 8 of the vendors had 2 products, and 4 of the vendors had 3 products. So total what we have is 21 into 8 into 2 plus 21 into 4 into 3. So basically we have 8 items with 2 products and 4 items with 3 products. So after adding that, we get the 588 rows, which we get it in the second one. We go down 589 minus the header, so 588 rows. Which this is what I was trying to tell you. Okay. After that, we removed the ones. We take the flag, keep it at 1. Whatever we want to keep, we take it. Other all things we remove. We get the 236 values there. Okay, and the same thing we do in the Alteryx as well. I have written it here. Now the insights that we draw from this project. Basically what we did, we took the campaign data. This is our campaign data. We expanded it, calculated week durations, expanded its duration, and calculated the weekdays and everything per product per campaign. So we did this per product. We split this duration. Then after splitting the duration into the 21 items, we split the product into the 2 or 3 items. After doing all that, we get the 588 rows. Then we removed something, the whatever we don't want to keep, whatever the things that we don't want to keep. So from Friday start, the things were that between the Friday end date and difference of the Friday end date and start date, whatever is not in this duration, we are not keeping it. Whatever is not in this duration, we are not keeping. Whatever is in this duration, we are keeping it. Okay. So rest is 0. So after removing all the zeros, we check, go down, we get the 236 values minus 237 minus 1, 236 values. Okay. Then finally we calculate everything. After doing everything, we calculate this week spent, weekly spent. It's per day. This is per day spent per week, or basically weekly spent. Okay. Now let's see if anything else that I want to tell you. Inside spent per product as well. Then removing the relevant data. Okay. Compress enlarge data. Spend per product we calculate, and per campaign. So spend per product per campaign. CMPAIGN. Calculating the weekly spend per category per campaign. Weekly spend per category per campaign. Yeah, I have written it down. So see. So this is all the things that we have done. I think that I have explained everything. If there is anything that is left, I'm thinking about it. But I have told you everything about the Alteryx project, and everything I have told you here as well. Let's see if anything is left. I have this is easy. This is done. This will reset index, sort values by first priority, second priorities, third priority, campaign per by category, by products. Then df multiply it, concat function we use to multiply the number of rows into 3 times. Here 3 times, whatever the value will, if I keep it 2 times, it will multiply it 2 times. Ignore index is equal to true, and we converted this into the numpy array, numpy array, whatever we got after this data frame, we put it into the numpy array, which we converted, reshaped it to the single series, then converted into the numpy series. All those things were needed to be done. Now this logic, I have told you, I think I have told you everything, so there is not anything left here to explain. If you still have any doubts about this, you can ask me. If you have my if you have my number or you are in contact with me, then you can ask me, or else you can ask the doubts in the description down below, because I will upload this video. Okay, yeah, so thank you, and so that's all for this video.